Go. After 2 games on the road, the Copperheads are back at Bob Wren Stadium. Hey, Copperheads fans, welcome inside the broadcast booth. I'm Tim Hanna. Alongside me, as always, Sedric Granger. Sedric, pretty rough start to the week this week. Copperheads are back at home playing in front of their home crowd. What can you tell me about it?
Yeah, the Copperheads did have a difficult last leg of their 6-game road stretch with a tough loss at the Mariners, 11-1. However, if we go back to the first week keys that I had when Copperheads were hosting the Mariners, the Copperheads, they had to take care of business at home, and then on that road stretch, just stay in the mix. Copperheads, they went 3-3 on that stretch, and if we look at the standings in the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League South, Copperheads are about in the mix as you can get, as they're in a 3-way tie for second with multiple other teams, the Settlers as well as the Mariners, and then also the Hamilton Joes, who the Copperheads are playing today, are also right there at 3-4. So it'll definitely be tough to be able to continue overcoming things, but it makes it a lot easier when you have a big home stretch ahead of you. And Tim, I mean, it feels great to be back at home.
It does. I mean, we've been on the road the whole week with the team, and starting to wear down on you, so I can't imagine how the players are. So we'll see if being at home, taking your time, getting out to the field, relaxing a little bit, it really changes the mentality of this team. Copperheads were victorious in the first game of the season against the Hamilton Joes. We'll see if they can get it done again tonight. First pitch is on its way right after this. For the first time in about 3 or 4 days, we're back here at Bob Wren Stadium. Welcome inside the broadcast. Tim Hanna alongside Sedric Granger. Sedric, it's great to be home.
It certainly is. I mean, I'm really happy to be here. I know the players are especially happy to be here. It's a great atmosphere, great night as it's really starting to cool down now. And I'm just excited to watch some baseball as you see strike one.
On the mound today for the Copperheads, Cody Williams quickly working here against the Hamilton Joes.
Yep, Caden Konzak.
2 strikes already for Williams as he delivers the 0-2. Just outside. We'll go over some defensive lineups for the Copperheads. Cody Williams on the mound. Matt Friesen helping him out behind the dish. Mitch Klass at first. Gunnar Aldrich. Birthday boy today on second base. Carson Shepard back at short after getting a couple days off. There's a drive out to left field. Handled by Clayton Hodges. Trey Rucker in at third today after getting a few reps at shortstop yesterday. Ian Crump, Kyle Ratliff, and of course Clayton Hodges out there in the outfield.
It is. You see Hodges already making a play there. That ball went right to him, and that's about as easy as it gets and as routine as it gets being back at home, which has been anything but routine for the Copperheads this year. This is only their, at least supposed to be the second full game at home. It was third until the game got postponed.
There's a shot out to right field. We'll drop right in front of Crump, and we'll have the first hit of the game, courtesy of number 9, Bennett Clement. Joes get a hit. We'll have a runner on first for Cody Williams. Now batting, number 6, the sophomore second baseman, Riley Hawthorne, out of Murray State. 286 on the year. Couple of RBIs. Pitch from Williams. Right down Court Street for strike number 1. Now that we're back in Athens, I think I can start dropping some Athens street names.
It is, yeah. Give some shout-outs to the community. There's tons of great streets here in Athens. Of course, as college students, we do love our Court Street.
The 0-1. Got him again. Strike 2 for Cody Williams, who's got a lot of command of his fastball today already here, just 3 batters into the game.
He sure does, and I'm sure he's really determined to have a better game than what happened against the Settlers. That was just a bad out for the whole Copperhead squad, and being able to come out here, pitching at home for the first time this season is Cody Williams, and it's great to be able to see him out here. And today, Tim, we got a radar gun, so we could actually get some speeds for you guys.
We do. David Hodges, the father of Clayton Hodges, saw us mention on the broadcast a few days ago as the runner goes. Chopper back to Williams. Get it over to Klass at first base for out number 2. Yeah, David Hodges, father of Clayton Hodges, heard us mention on the broadcast last week that a radar gun would be nice. And when he saw us in Richmond, came over and we talked to him for a minute, said he had an extra one laying around the house and dropped it off to us today. So thank you, David. We'll make sure to put it to good use.
Yeah, and also shout out to David for the traveling as well, being from Florida, coming up here to be able to support Hodges, support Clayton Hodges in his games. It's really exciting to see. That last pitch by Cody Williams, courtesy of Mr. Hodges' radar gun, was 81 miles per hour.
2 outs here for Andrew Patrick. Takes ball 1. Bit of a scorcher again today. Not as hot as we've seen in the last couple days, but temperatures still in the low 90s. Hopefully we'll cool off as the sun goes down. Looking to be about 85 by the end of the game.
It definitely feels significantly cooler. Maybe we just got used to these scorching temperatures and the weather being so hot that computers couldn't even work. But we're glad the stream is up and working. The temperatures are cooler, so everything is just feeling a lot better today. Things just feel like things are just on track today.
Made a few adjustments to our setup as that ball will miss the outside part of the plate. 2-0 to Patrick. Yeah, had to adjust the setup a little bit and got things taken care of to bring you the game. We truly do apologize for not being able to bring you the content you love. It's been difficult for Sedric and I as well, traveling on the road and trying to make sure that we're able to deliver. Klass will drift out into foul territory, make the play, and the Copperheads get out of the inning. When we return, It will be the top of the lineup for the Copperheads: Trey Rucker, Kyle Ratliff, and Ashton Bam Thomas. You're listening to Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. The bottom of the first inning is brought to you today by Ohio Health. Bottom of the first is also today brought to you by Larry's Doghouse. Head down to the concession stand here at Bob Wren Field. Make sure to try out the Copperheads Crunch Dog, personal favorite of my co-hosts.
Yes, I absolutely love that Copperhead Crunch Dog, and the fact that I got to get one before the game today, oh my gosh, that had me over the moon.
There's Rucker that finds a gap in between second and short to get things started for the Copperheads before we even got a chance to go over the defensive lineup for the Joes. So we'll do that real quick. Noah Tincher is on the mound today. Evan Ulrich behind the dish. Parker Lester and Walker Bridges on the corners. Andrew Patrick and Riley Hawthorne will hold down the middle of the infield. Grant Miller, Bennett Clement, and Caden Konzak in the outfield. Throw over to first is not in time. Rucker gets back pretty easily there. I think it was more of a check to him.
Of course. And then batting for the Copperheads in the order will be Trey Rucker, Carson Shepard, Bam Thomas batting third, Kyle Ratliff batting fourth as Rucker will go.
There is a blooper out to center field. Rucker will haul back, and that's going to be a close throw. That throw goes past the first baseman, Lester, so Rucker's going to run back to second, and they get him on the tag. Bit of a back and forth as Rucker gets up kind of limping, appears to have shook it off, and that was a interesting little development. Good call by Rucker to run back towards second on the pass ball, but unfortunate, wasn't able to
get back.
Bam Thomas will step to the plate now. First pitch to him is outside, 1-0 to Ashton Bam Thomas, who's starting to come out of a little bit of a slump after starting the season pretty slow.
Yeah, he did a great job these last couple of games. Over his last 11 attempts, he is 5 for 11. at the plate. So he's been pretty solid there. His batting average has skyrocketed over these last couple of weeks. But the last play by Trey Rucker was interesting. It was almost like he was doing a shuttle run as he went to second, then went back to first, then went back to second, and did get caught stealing. And he did try to get some steals. There was a time last game where he did get caught trying to steal home, as he was just trying to get something going for the offense of the Copperheads that did not have their best day yesterday. And they'll look to be able to do a lot better, as they ended up starting the game fast but just kind of fizzled out as the game went on.
Covered 270 feet there on that transaction. So Bam Thomas called strike, awaits the 3-1. Big swing there to load the count at 3-2 for Ashton Bam Thomas.
Yep, with 2 outs in the inning. Big opportunity here.
Not able to find the strike zone there, so Thomas will now go down to first. Stepping in now, Kyle Ratliff here with 2 outs.
Yeah, Ratliff had himself a game the last time they played the Joes. He had 2 doubles and 2 RBIs against Hamilton last time. So he gave the Joes some nightmares, and he made the Joes look very average. And he'll try to have another great game here.
Tinker's first pitch is inside. Ball 1 to Ratliff. Crowd still trickling in here a little bit. Not as much as we've seen in previous days, but big weekend stretch coming up for the Copperheads as they'll play Friday, Saturday, and Monday here at Bob Wren Stadium. That ball is gloved by Riley Hawthorne for the 3rd out of the inning. When we return, the top of the 2nd, you are listening to Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. Back here in the top of the 2nd. The top of the 2nd is brought to you by Jackie O's. For Copperheads fans 21 years of age, we highly recommend the Homer's Hazy IPA, special beer made for the Copperheads this season. First pitch to Ulrich, just outside of the plate. Ball 1 for him.
Evan Ulrich is a man who played pretty well against the Copperheads in their first matchup. He went 1 for 3, 1 run, and 2 walks against the Cheads.
There's a fly ball out to center field. Ratliff able to haul that one in. Copperheads working quickly on offense now, or on defense rather.
Yeah, it looks exactly like what we saw yesterday, but from the other side where the Mariners, they had a situation where they went 9 straight batters of the Copperheads and retired them all. And right now the Copperheads are being pretty efficient now as it keeps the pitch count low for Cody Williams.
Pitch count has been the most important word for this team all season, as trying to keep guys healthy and in the rotation and all that kind of stuff. And with so many games back to back to back to back to back, having pitchers fresh is absolutely critical for this team. It's something Coach Lanning's been saying since day one. Shot over to Gunnar Aldrich, makes the play. Another quick out for the Copperheads. That's 2 outs here.
Yep, Grant Miller was up. He kind of got a little decent contact, but he's kind of just hitting it right to each of these fielders. And right now the Copperheads defenders haven't had to move much from their positions to be able to make plays on the ball.
No, couple quick plays out to Ratliff and Aldrich, who have been holding down their spots. First pitch to Lester is in there for a strike.
Yeah, and on the topic of Aldridge, it is his birthday today, so he's celebrating that.
Coach Lanning came to us pregame and wanted the PA announcer to sing him happy birthday, so I believe that'll take place during the 5th inning. Bottom of the 5th inning, I believe, is when Ethan Sargent has that set up for, so we'll try and bring the stream up for that and help him celebrate his big day. Chopper to Aldrich. Makes the play cleanly to Class, and Joes go 1, 2, 3 here in the top of the 2nd. You are listening to Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. The bottom of the 2nd inning today is brought to you by Steak and Shake. Now batting for the Copperheads will be Clayton Hodges. Bottom of the 2nd inning here at Bob Wren Stadium. 0-0 is our score. Both defenses working pretty efficiently in the first inning and a half. We'll see if Hodges can get things going for the Copperheads. As there's a blooper out to center field. Hodges will, in fact, get it going. Copperheads have 1 on. Here, no outs for Mitch Class.
Yeah, great work by Clayton Hodges. He's one of those players that actually leads the team in triples, so he's always do a triple every now and again, but he also shows that he can do a great job spraying it around and get a couple of singles in there, and he does a great job getting on base as the leadoff hitter of this 2nd inning.
That's been a big theme for Copperheads players all year, just trying to get better at placing the ball rather than just hitting it, as Hodges had a pretty good jump there on first, but Class will foul that one back. So back another 90 feet. Copperheads traveling quite a far distance today on stolen bases.
Of course, they're starting to get that mileage up right now. It's like a car that drives back and forth to all these different locations. Kind of reminds me of the Copperheads on bus trips, having to go to Richmond, then back here to Athens, and then go back to Richmond a day later.
Something I have enjoyed a ton this season, being able to ride the bus with the team every day. And you learn a whole lot more about players, just little things that you might not ask during an interview. You learn those kind of things sitting next to them on a bus for 3 or 4 hours a day. So been very interesting, as Tincher will throw back to first base.
Yeah, I agree. We got to hear like different tidbits, like how Josh Robinson, being from Jamestown, Ohio, he was really excited to be playing in Xenia because he had a bunch of family that lived really close by, and they were all there to be able to support him, or just kind of get an idea of what everybody's personality's like, the different jokes that go around amongst the team, and it's really great. And it feels like there really is a true family that's there. And when we're on the bus, we get to really be a part of that, Tim.
Yeah, it's great to see these guys and their relationships with each other develop throughout the season, and when they come on the broadcast and they talk about we've really clicked, it feels like a family, it feels like a team that's been together for a long time. That's really evident in the way that they interact with each other.
It very much is so. And again, as this year goes on, we're going to get to interview more players, and it's just exciting to be able to give a lot of people chances to be able to just go talk. And once we do the podcast, which is a little hint for what's ahead, there may be some players that might guest star.
Hodges will go on the pass-ish ball. Don't really know how to score that one, but
yeah, we'll say a pass ball, Tim.
Class picks up his first ball, so 1-2 to him. Clayton Hodges on second. And Tincher will look on to deliver the 1-2. Fouled back again. The third foul ball of this at-bat for Mitch Class. Both strikes coming on foul balls, and then now another one fouled back for him.
Yeah, Mitch Class, one of his biggest strengths is just being able to force high numbers of pitch counts out of these pitchers. He really gets the full counts a lot of times, and it's been a very difficult out. Has only 1 strikeout on the year.
Class with also 5 walks on the year. So always a tough at-bat when he gets up into the box, really makes the pitcher work for it. As Tincher will look on for the 1-1. Goes off of Ulrich's leg, so Hodges will advance another 90 feet up to third base. Now Class with a runner in scoring position. A fly ball to the right side of the field will likely score Hodges.
A big opportunity for Class to try to pick up his first RBI of the year.
Crowd's starting to get into this one here at Bob Wren Field. The 2-2. Chopper to Patrick, who gets it in time, but not before Clayton Hodges gets across the plate for the first run of the game. Will be a RBI ground out for Mitch Class, who does in fact get his first RBI of the year, and Copperheads are on the board early here, 1-0.
A little bit doing a better job of these fast starts. I know hot temperatures made fast starts a lot more difficult, according to Coach TJ Lanning. But seeing the Copperheads be able to do well, and I think obviously now that the weather is a little bit cooler here in the evening, I think it makes things easier. And with the way the field's oriented, they don't have the sun beating down in them in their dugout, because yesterday at Grand Lake in Salina, their stadium, their dugout of the opposing team, the sun is beating directly on that area.
Team brought some, we brought some fans with us on the bus yesterday to kind of plug in that dugout and just keep the air flowing, because it was, you get a nice breeze coming off the lake yesterday, but nothing to actually try and cool the team down. So brought a couple box fans with us, and actually ended up using them on the bus as well to try and circulate some airflow on the bus. So hopefully everybody's out there staying cool, staying hydrated. The 2-1. Rather 3-1. And Crump will march down to first base, so another runner for the Copperheads. Matt Friesen will step to the plate. A couple of strikeouts, a walk, stolen base on the year.
Yep, and props to Matt Friesen yesterday, as he was one of the few bright spots as he came in the game. Hit was 1 for 1, had the only extra base hit of the day for the Copperheads, and that was his first hit of the season. So he's really starting to heat up and get into the swing of things this season, which is pretty good to see.
Friesen starting to get a little bit more action behind the dish as well, with Josh Steidel and Sebastian Silva playing more of that DH role the last couple games. So Friesen really able to work on all of his skills here, get ready for baseball with Ohio University on this field exactly. So familiar territory for Friesen as well.
Yep, another one of the players from Minnesota on this roster, along with Class and Adani.
First pitch from Tincher is a strike. Copperheads were victorious in the first matchup between these two teams earlier this year. 7-4 was the final in that one. After a rainy pregame in that game, we kind of weren't sure if we were going to be able to get the broadcast up, but shout out to the Hamilton Joe's staff that were able to get us set up in a nice dry area so that we could bring the game to you.
Yeah, it was great. And the Copperheads, even though they started slow that day, the 4th and 5th inning were very kind to them, as Trey Rucker, Kyle Ratliff, Carson Shepard, Gunnar Aldridge, Bam Thomas, and Clayton Hodges all scored on the day, as well as Jordan Long later in the game. And it was one of those days where the Copperheads had to battle a lot of adversity.
Runner goes. The throw, the tag, in time. Ian Crump not able to get over in time, so that will be 2 outs for the Copperheads, who are continuing their theme of being aggressive on the base pads. Quite a few stolen bases as a team this year, and that's something that Coach Lanning has tried to stress to this team, just being able to be aggressive, stay out there, and always kind of be a bother to the starting pitcher.
Exactly. Force the other team to beat you. Now, Ulrich seems to be one of the better catchers so far in the GLSCL, so he could be a little bit trickier to deal with. But in general, just being able to make the other team beat you is an essential thing here as we're starting to warm up into the season. People are starting to get more on their A game, but especially early on when people are making those mistakes a lot, people are still trying to gel together, and the shortstop and second baseman might not be on the same page. That's when you really got to test them.
One benefit that the Copperheads have had, as there's a strikeout from Matt Friesen. Copperheads go down in this second inning, but do manage to get a run off the RBI groundout from Mitch Class. When we return, it will be the top of the third. You are watching Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. Back here in the top of the third inning. Top of the third inning is brought to you by OUCU Financial, where you belong. First pitch to Bridges is a shot out to right field. Will get down. So one runner aboard here quickly for the Joes.
Yep, the Joes have been doing a great job coming out here swinging, and they've been able to find a little bit of success. I was actually just about to mention how 6 out of the first 7 runners have been retired until that point, so maybe a little announcer's jinx before we even got on the air for the start of the top of the third.
Sedric, you and I have been guilty of doing that all season long. As the runner goes, there's a foul ball over into the Copperheads bullpen down the right field line. Something you and I have been very guilty of all season long is calling things before they happen.
Hey, sometimes it works out in your favor, though. During the Xenia Scouts game, I put Kyle Ratliff down as getting a hit during that 9th inning preemptively, and he ended up hitting a home run, which ended up winning the Copperheads the game, and they won that game 8-5 in exciting fashion on the road against Xenia, who is at the bottom of the standings, but there really is no easy games in the GLSCL as we've seen this year. Even the Richmond Jazz, who were last in the standings, they ended up upsetting the Settlers last night. So Settlers now are on a 3-game skid. So big opportunity for the Copperheads as they will be playing the Settlers coming up here real soon. It'll be the next game here, and it'll be here tomorrow at 7:05.
A bit of a closer game for both of those teams, so likely we'll see some Settlers fans joining us in the crowd tomorrow night. It should be first weekend action at Bob Wren Stadium of the season, so we're hoping to see everybody out here tomorrow at the park as well as Saturday if you're not able to join us tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for the Copperheads to get a chance to be able to face some of the top teams in the conference at home and be able to have the home crowd behind them and have the rest behind them, as a lot of these teams are going to be coming in on road stretches. The Joes right now, they're actually coming off of a road game against Xenia, and they're still on the road right now as they'll play the Copperheads and the Mariners coming up as well. So Joes now getting a taste of what the Copperheads had to deal with.
Big thing we talked about in our pregame discussion was that it's critical for the Copperheads to kind of win this home stretch, whether that's 2 of the 3 wins, or ultimately going 3-0. But that's something that's going to be really important, having that home crowd behind us. We saw how it was on opening night, and in the partial Scouts game we played here Monday night, this crowd, once the Copperheads start rolling, this crowd cannot be stopped. Another chopper to Williams. Over to Shepard. 6-1, 6-3 double play.
Terrific play out there by the fielding, as that's one of the first double plays that we have seen all year from the Copperheads defense, and they just look a lot sharper than they had on the road stretch, and they just seem like they're alert, they're awake, they're alive out there. It's just great to see.
Being able to, well, I mean, they come back to the house every single night, but being able to kind of wake up, not really be in a rush to get your stuff around, get out the door, and then ultimately sit on a bus for anywhere from 1 to 3 hours is got to be nice for these guys' mental preparation. Being able to wake up, maybe do a quick workout in the morning, take a nap, hang out with the guys at the house, and then make their way down to the ballpark here about 2.5 hours prior to game time. So that's got to be a big relief for these guys.
Very much so, as Caden Konzak's back up, and last time he went against the Copperheads back in their second game of the season, he went 1 for 5, had an RBI, a walk, and a run. So he did do a little bit of damage to the Copperheads, but not a lot.
Chopper down the first baseline is foul. So Williams able to get him to even the count here at 2-2. 2 outs after the little bit unconventional 1-6-3 double play.
Yeah, but you don't see that very often, as you're usually used to seeing the 6-4-3, and it definitely switches up the commentary there a little bit, as usually you kind of get into the groove whenever you see a double play. You'll be like the 6, 4, and 3.
Yep.
This time it's the 1, the 6, the 3. Kind of interesting.
Rolls off the tongue a little bit better than the 1-6-3 or the the 1-2-3 that we saw earlier this season.
Yeah, that was really unorthodox. You don't see that very often. I mean, at the end of the season, I'll have to make some sort of bingo card for the scorecards because I'm sure I probably will see almost every type of scoring in this sort of year because this league has had a lot of oddities and a lot of interesting things and a lot of teams with, like, interesting facts. Like we saw the Mariners, they lost to the worst team in the division but beat the best team in the division. You got teams that are just really streaky, and you have teams that have won all their first games and lost all their most recent games. So it's interesting.
Swing and a miss there for Bennett Clement. Trying to keep things going for the Settlers here in the bottom of the second with 1 on, 2 out. Copperheads lead 1-0.
Yeah, Bennett Clement got it started for the Hamilton Joes today with a single in the first inning and then got to second base on the fielder's choice and then was retired as the only runner left on base on the day for the Hamilton Joes, rocking their black jerseys, black batting helmets, which this is about as bad of a time to be wearing all black when it's 90-something degrees outside. Now it's got to be difficult for this road stretch, too.
Runner goes. Friesen, the throw, the tag. Not quite in time. Good throw by Friesen. Good tag by Aldrich. Excuse me. Konzak got a nice jump on that one. Able to beat the throw and the tag. So we'll do it again here at 1-1 for Bennett Clement. Clement, the sophomore left fielder from Louisiana State. Eunice, I think is how you say that.
Yep, Eunice.
Eunice. St. Francisville, Louisiana. So coming a long way from home to play his summer ball, as are many players in this league. Ball is fouled back into the net. Be 1-2.
Well, just like how many students want to go away to different states to be able to play their college sports, whether you see a baseball prospect who's from Texas, for example, might go up to Ohio or Minnesota to be able to play baseball or play football or play basketball. Sometimes you just need a nice change of scenery, and it can mean the world for these players. And to have a little chance during the summer to be able to see somewhere new, I think it could be really cool.
Williams looks on to deliver the 1-2 pitch. The wind and kick to deal. Shot out to right field, but will land foul. Heat check on that one. 85 miles an hour on the fastball from Cody Williams.
Yeah, it's got some good speed on that fastball right there. Oh my gosh, that was a pretty lucky break.
It
was. It looked like it was just going to stay fair, and then the wind, maybe a little bit of a breeze there, came in and just veered it right just far enough to be able to be outside the first baseline and make it foul, which it would have scored a runner for sure, just considering the location that it was in.
Ian Crump probably would have had a difficult time making a play on that ball out in right field. Likely would have saw Konzak come in to score. Nonetheless, we'll do it again here at 1-2, 2 outs. Copperheads lead 1-0. Williams looks on, steps off the back of the mound to keep the runner in check. Williams pitching a lot better than he did in his first performance against the Licking County Settlers.
Yeah, just sometimes you just got to shake off the rust, and it's the first game, and now you're in your second, and you kind of settled in some more.
Got him swinging on the 74-mile-an-hour breaking ball. So Cody Williams taking command of this game. Copperheads still lead 1-0. You're listening to Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. Back here in the bottom of the third, presented by Eclipse Company Store. It'll be this is the top of the third. No, bottom of the third. I just haven't got the stream figured out yet. My apologies, folks.
It's all good. In the meantime, I'll talk about this series a little bit as the Copperheads and Joes, they will play 5 times this year. They've already played once and see a fly ball up into foul territory. Be caught by the Joes for 1 down as Gunnar Aldridge goes down on the fly. But, yeah, Tim, it's one of those series where I think it's really important that the Copperheads at least get 3 out of 5, and there'll be a couple of series where they're playing almost everybody in the division 5 times. You got to win at least 3 of them. And against the Settlers, in that case, you got to win at least 5 out of their 9 matchups. If you can go and have tiebreakers over everybody, there's going to be a high chance the Copperheads will be in the playoff when it's all said and done.
Rucker steps in, takes ball number 1. The 1-0. Big swing and a miss there from Rucker. Rucker, one of the higher on-base percentages on this team.
Most certainly is. He's been one of those players that has been just fantastic, just finding ways to get there, whether he's about 1 for 3, 1 for 2, or 2 for 3, or 2 for 4 on the day. He adds always a couple of walks. And then when he gets on the base paths, he's probably one of the most aggressive runners on the base path.
Strike 3 there for Rucker. So quickly 2 out here for the Copperheads. And just as I say that, Trey Rucker, a .476 on base percentage. One of the higher on the team. Ranks 3rd on the team, only behind Mitch Klass and Carson Shepard. 2 guys who draw quite a few walks.
It is. It's funny you mentioned Carson Shepard because he's up right now.
Shepard is hit by a pitch, and it's starting to sound like a broken record here, Sedric. That's quite a few hit by pitches for Carson Shepard. Make it his 5th hit by pitch on the year. What a tough guy.
Get the ice ready because, I mean, all these games where he keeps getting hit in the same spot every single game, oh, gosh, that's difficult. But props to him for being able to take it, and still helps the on-base percentage.
Carson Shepard getting the night off last night after having to take a break from the game on Tuesday due to heat-related concerns. Bam Thomas takes strike 1 after checking that one, but appears to be moving healthy. We saw him taking some nice runs there in the outfield to kind of warm up a little bit pregame, and appears to be back to full strength.
Sure does. He sure does. And it's great to be able to see players being able to recover from health concerns and things of that sort because, again, that was the hottest day of the season so far. When you get into the high 90s, the hydration level, it increases. You got to make sure you're more hydrated, whether that's taking pickle juice or doing all the other things. As you see
there's a shot from Bam Thomas into the Hamilton bullpen down the right field line. But that's a very good point, Sedric. And temperatures on the field in Xenia the other day were reaching about 115, 120 degrees, so obviously a big concern there. We saw the Xenia athletic trainer working overtime that game to make sure that players were remaining as healthy as possible. Bam Thomas will also get hit by a pitch. Now 2 on for the Copperheads, and really just emphasizing that point that this is a tough team.
pretty interesting seeing the array of soundboards that the Copperheads have brought out for this home game. They've kind of stepped it up a little bit with even more sounds, including sounds from The Simpsons and SpongeBob, and they're just implementing a lot more different things, and it's making the atmosphere very live. So any people who are thinking about coming to a Copperheads game, what are you waiting for? Got a bunch of them coming up this weekend.
Kyle Ratliff steps in, takes the first pitch low. Ball number 1 for him.
Gave the Joes nightmares last time as he had 2 doubles, and was a big reason why the Copperheads were able to be victorious on the road there. And today he started off with a fly out, so he has been getting contact.
Copperheads in the all-white today. Hamilton Joes in the black and gray. Bob Wren Stadium here on the beautiful campus of Athens, or of Ohio University in Athens, Ohio. Tim Hanna, Sedric, Granger in the broadcast booth. Copperheads lead this one 1-0 in the bottom of the third. Coming back home after a long road stretch last week and a quick road stretch to start the week this week.
Yep, Copperheads 4-3 on the year. Joes 3-4. If the Joes win this game, they can create some upward mobility in the league. And if you're the Copperheads, if you win this game, you can create some separation between you and the really crowded middle of the pack in the GLSCL South.
The South Division proving to be very competitive as there's the 2-1 inside to Kyle Ratliff. Make it 3-1 now. South Division proving to be a little bit more competitive. Not more competitive, but a little bit tighter of a race at the top than the North Division is. So far, here about a week and a half into the season. Ratliff will take a walk, and the bases are loaded now for Clayton Hodges.
Yeah, Tincher's had a rough couple of at-bats here. As that's 3 straight runners where they've reached by hit by pitch or a walk. So tough little stretch there for Noah Tincher. Still forced 2 outs. But he'll bring up Clayton Hodges, and Clayton Hodges is the only man who has scored today. He has a single.
Tincher will look on. First pitch to Hodges is high. Count 1-0 with 2 outs. Bases are loaded. Couple of speedy guys on the bases. Carson Shepard, Bam Thomas, Kyle Ratliff.
Yeah, and then back to the point of the standings, Tim. The GLSCL North, it's the Monarchs and Locos who are at the top at 5-3, followed by the Ice Haulers and Jetbox who are both 4-4, and the Clippers and Leprechauns are 3-5. So a lot of teams that are tied for their individual positions, and a lot of chances to be able to move on up in the division with just a couple of wins or just getting hot at the right time is possible with that division. With the North, you kind of have some more disparity as the Scouts are 1-5 while the Steam are 5-1. They are sandwiching the ends of the division right now. And then in the middle, you have the 2-4 Jazz, 3-4 Joes, and the hodgepodge of 4-3 teams with the Settlers, Mariners, and our Copperheads. So it's a very competitive race right now, but there's a lot of baseball to still be played. We're only 1/4 of the way through the season, and I like to think about this as the season being in quarters, and there's different stretches that you have to go, and the first stretch was really tough for the Copperheads with so many road games, and now you get your chance at home for the second quarter here.
Called strike on the outside part of the plate for Clayton Hodges. Ball probably could have gone either way, but home plate umpire decided didn't want to give him a free one there. So we'll do it again. 3-1, big swing for Hodges. Now the count is loaded. Good job by Noah Tincher to work himself back into this count after hitting a couple guys and walking Kyle Ratliff.
He's settled in, but now the biggest pitch of the day for him will be right here.
Rung him up, strike 3, and the fans at Bob Wren Stadium are not happy.
Hodges ain't happy either as he's talking to the umpire trying to look for an explanation there. As that was definitely a bad break for the Copperheads. Could have gone either way with that decision, and he went in favor of the Joes. So that's just going to keep the score at 1-0 as 3 are left on. You always hate to see 3 left on, Tim.
Missed opportunity for the Copperheads. When we come back, they will try and defend their 1-0 lead. You are listening to Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. The top of the 4th inning is brought to you by Ohio Health. Copperheads back home after a quick road trip. Lead the Hamilton Joes 1-0 here in the top of the 4th. First up for the for the Hamilton Joes, rather, will be Riley Hawthorne, sophomore second baseman from Murray State. Second pitch to him, the outside part of the plate, 2-0 for Hawthorne.
After showing some improvement on the walk front going into the Xenia Scouts game, one of the biggest issues that's come back now is allowing way too many walks. As we've seen a couple of batters get to first base for free in the Mariners game, and so far, so good today for Williams, but this might be the first opportunity as it is a 3-0 count.
Unfortunately, not the only thing to point to in last night's loss to the Mariners, but definitely something that Coach Lanning talked to us about post-game is that things like this, like that's not winning baseball, and just kind of have to move on from those as we see a walk there for Hawthorne. Something that winning baseball teams like to eliminate, and I know Coach Chase Harris, the new pitching coach for the Copperheads, has been working really hard with his guys to kind of hone in on that, and the pitchers have even mentioned that to us, just trying to throw strikes, not worried about the placement of it as much, rather just get the ball in there for a strike, let the defense go to work behind him. Andrew Patrick, the sophomore outfielder from Wright State, step in now. 0 for 4 with a walk. Looks like that ball hit him. The umpire kind of asked him if he got hit, then proceeded to send him down to first base. So a walk and a hit batter now for the Joes, and they got 2 on here with no outs.
For the Copperheads in this game, the goal is just to make sure you're not getting down by an insurmountable lead. As on the year, the Copperheads, they have won in exciting fashion, but every time they've lost ugly. And this team, they know how to claw their way back in games. They just can't let any deficits get too much.
Got him there for a strike. Evan Ulrich, junior catcher from Charleston. Williams looks on and delivers the 0-1. Inside, 1-1.
Ulrich showing off some limbo skills right there. It's almost like we're in the summertime. Oh, wait, we are in the summertime.
Definitely can feel that summertime heat. Copperheads lead at 1-0 here in the top of the 4th. No outs. Cody Williams delivers. That is a pop fly. Class will come down and get it. Shepard running over to cover third just in case the runner decided to go. 1 out for the Copperheads.
See, I just like the communication there. We saw a lapse in communication yesterday. It seems like they worked on it, or they at least were able to talk about it before the game. And to see a fist bump given from Class to Cody Williams after that, that just makes me smile, kind of seeing that team camaraderie there on that play as everybody was covering for each other. The alignment and the knowing what to do in that sort of fly ball situation was excellent.
Last night on the team bus. This is a shot to Aldrich, who's not able to reach up and grab that one. 1 run will come across, and looks like there will be a second run come across. The throw not in time. Copperheads will get, or rather the Joes will get 2 there on the RBI single from Grant Miller.
Yeah, props to the runners for really hustling to get around that and taking advantage of the situation. Whenever you're playing on a hybrid field like this, the ball, it almost can die in the grass, and then made it a tougher ball to get to for Ian Crump to be able to make a throw once the ball died there as the runner
goes. Friesen, the throw, the tag, throw is off the mark. Saved there by Gunnar Aldrich. Yeah, Coach Thaman, no hesitation there to send his guy around third. The 1-0 to Parker Lester. Is on its way. Right down Court Street. Strike number 1. Hamilton Joes lead it 2-1 here in the top of the 4th. The 1-1 from Williams. Chopper foul behind the dish. 1 and 2. Now to Parker Lester, the sophomore infielder from Miami University. So, bit of familiarity here at Bob Wren Stadium. See if he can dig his way out of this 1-2 count. Williams. Ball is high. 1 and 1, or 1 and 2 rather. Evens the count. Williams looks back as the runner's kind of dancing with him a little bit. Chopper foul. We will do it again here at 2-2. Sun's starting to set on Bob Wren Stadium. Temperatures are dropping to a bit more comfortable here tonight after it was a scorcher pretty much the entire week so far.
Of course, and it's great that people can be able to get out to the game, be comfortable on Jersey Day.
2-2 from Williams is a fly ball. Ratliff drifting back to the warning track, makes the catch, and the throw in to Shepard will send the runner to third base on the tag. So a runner on third, 2 outs. Stepping up to the plate will be number 12, Walker Bridges. Williams trying to work himself out of this little jam after giving up 2 already here. Get back to the dugout, let his team go to work behind him.
Yep, goal here is just to keep it at 2.
Big swing and a miss there from Bridges.
Yeah, Tim, we've seen a lot of situations this year where the Copperheads, once they give up 2 or 3 runs, it just kind of becomes an avalanche where they keep giving up more and more. And we'll see if the Copperheads can do a good job at being able to shut the door. You gave up some runs, but there's still plenty of time left, and there's a good chance for Cody Williams to be able to get out of the inning here.
On multiple instances this season, when it rains, it pours. For the Copperheads, already given up 10 in an inning this season, as well as 6 yesterday. Shepard fields the ground ball, gets it over to Class via 6-3 ground out for Walker Bridges. Joes do get 2, however, and they will head to this bottom of the 4th inning, holding a 1-run lead. You are listening to Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. Back here for the bottom of the fourth inning. Bottom of the fourth inning is presented by Larry's Doghouse. If you get a chance to come out to the ballpark, make sure to try the specialty, the Copperheads Crunch Dog, one of Sedric's favorites.
Oh, it definitely is one of my favorites. Absolutely love that hot dog. It makes my day every time I get to have one of those.
The sauce, the cheese, the fried onions, the jalapenos, and of course the Copperhead sauce. Mitch Klass in the box takes strike number one. Bit of a glaring difference between this game and the previous matchup between the Cheads and the Joes was previous game. Joes had to use 6 total pitchers in the losing effort last time, so we'll see if they can get a couple starters that, or a couple guys that go a lengthy amount of time to avoid using so many arms, especially with the amount of games that get played here in the GLSCL.
Exactly. With all these games happening consecutively, as you see a swing and a miss from Klass for out number one, it's really important to be able to conserve arms, but they brought in a new pitcher this inning, so it's kind of funny we talk about that, and there's a second pitcher of the day. So first pitcher goes 3 innings. That was Tincher, and that brings on the next guy. It's number 34, Shea Hendrickson, out of Southern Indiana and going to Centerville, Ohio. So Centerville High School, big high school there out in Dayton. He is 1-0 on the season, so has picked up a win for the Joes.
Hendrickson's second pitch is just outside, make it 1-1. Hendrickson looks on. Delivers. The pitch is high. Ian Crump from Miles Community College by way of Rapid City, South Dakota, sophomore outfielder. Played 43 games this year at Miles Community College, hit .304, 5 home runs, 47 RBIs, and 26 stolen bases. So pretty solid season for him. Still trying to get the feel of the wood bat this year. Has not played a ton yet for the Copperheads. Comes in about every 2 or 3 days to play, as he will take a walk there, and Copperheads.
I'll tell you, Tim, by the end of this year, I'd definitely love to see a dodgeball game between a lot of these teams, just because, again, you have a lot of pitches that sometimes are a little bit off the mark coming right towards players, and you've seen a limbo move out there by Ulrich. You've seen a little bit of a back juke that you kind of see when a runner in football tries to make a back juke on the sideline from Crump. So there's quite some excellent dodges that we're getting to see.
Ball's coming in the mid-80s to upper mid-80s, lower 90s. So definitely have to have quick reaction time to be able to get out of the way of those balls. As I don't know about you, Sedric, but I would not like to get hit by an 85-mile-an-hour fastball.
Oh, yeah, you don't have to tell me twice.
Chopper to Hendricks, who is able to make the play at first. The runner does advance. 2 outs here for the Copperheads, and in steps the birthday boy, the Michigan State product, Gunnar Aldrich. Aldrich hitting 125 this year, has a couple hits, couple runs, couple walks, couple stolen bases, and been in a bit of a slump the last couple days. You can tell he's a little bit frustrated at the plate, trying to find his groove.
Yeah, seasons are like a roller coaster. There'll be ups, there'll be downs. And as we heard from Kyle Ratliff in an interview, he just talked about for him and also his teammates, it's just about trusting in who you are and trusting in what the team is. And even when things don't work out for you, just continuing to trust and have faith and have confidence in who you are and that things will work out. And we've seen some definitely big plays from Aldrich. He did hit the first home run way back in game number 1, and he's been a solid guy, especially defensively for the Copperheads. And when it comes to the bats, it'll get there. You just got to let it come to you. It's like going fishing. You just got to wait for the fish to come to you.
Absolutely, Cedric. Really been an anchor at that second base position. Only missed, I believe, 1 game so far this year. 1 or 2, but really been a consistent starter for this team, a consistent player all around for this Copperheads team. And And that's something I think we'll start to see here in the next couple games is players starting to kind of settle into their positions. As Coach Lanning talked about the 10-10-10 approach that he's got for this game, 10 games to try and feel out this team, 10 games to kind of work on their strengths, build that up, and then the last 10 games obviously make a push towards that postseason. 3-2 is a shot out to deep center. Bennett Clement able to make the catch there as Copperheads go down here in the bottom of the fourth. One runner left on. As we head to the top of the fifth, the Hamilton Joes hold on to their 2-1 lead. You are listening to Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. Back here in the top of the fifth inning. Top of the fifth inning is presented by Jackie O's. For Copperheads fans over the age of 21, we recommend you try out the Homer's Hazy IPA, a creation for us, special this season. First pitch in there for a ball. Sedric, a little bit of action around the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League tonight.
Yes, there is. There's already a game that's final in the doubleheader between the Cincinnati Steam and Richmond Jazz. Steam won 4-1, extending their lead on the division. So that puts them up at 6-1 now in the division, and they're starting to have a commanding lead over the South. And then Xenia Scouts, they're down 3-4 against the Grand Lake Mariners. Ball stays fair, it looks like, or maybe it was just fouled.
Stays foul.
Good, good. We're thankful for that, as that would have been a tough play for the Copperheads to make. Could have been a triple. But Xenia Scouts are down 3-4, giving the Mariners all that they can handle. And for us as Copperheads fans, we're hoping that the Xenia Scouts can pull off that upset to help the Copperheads in the race. And then on the other side of the division, the Clippers and Ice Haulers are tied at 0. Jetbox and Michigan Monarchs. The Jetbox Baseball Club is up 2-0 in the top of the fourth. And right now, the Cincinnati Steam and Richmond Jazz are starting the second leg of their doubleheader.
2-1. 2-1 here in the top of the fifth, as it appears the umpire took that one off of his hand. Hope he is okay.
Yeah, that's unfortunate about being behind the plate there, and it's one of the risks that comes with the job, and we just hope that the umpire's okay. You can have a lot of inadvertent things happening, but Cody Williams, so far, pretty good. He's going through his fourth inning here, and that's kind of what you like to see. We want to see our starting pitchers get into the fourth, get into the fifth inning, and it's just going to make the job a lot easier for the Copperheads and for TJ Lanning to be able to kind of map out who's going to pitch today. The longer that the starter can go, the easier it's going to be on the relieving guys.
Trying to limit the damage within the pitch count is exactly what I think the staff is looking for there, as there's another pass ball, swing, and a foul ball maybe.
Yeah, a little bit. He got a little piece of that.
So we'll do it again here at 2-2. Hamilton Joe's currently leading 2-1 here in the bottom or top of the fifth, rather, as count will be full here for Nicholas Wilmers.
Yep, Nicholas Wimmers. Big Ten guy.
Chopper over to Aldrich, who makes a nice diving play. Throw over to Class is not in time. Great job on the diving effort by another Big Ten man, Gunnar Aldrich.
Yeah, they definitely played each other in that Big Ten slate, Michigan State and Nebraska, respectively. And that was a great effort by Gunnar Aldridge there, as he made a solid diving attempt to try to get something going there and make the throw, but he's just not there in time. But still impressive to make sure that didn't turn into a double.
Deeper outfields than we saw last night. About 405 to dead center, 380 in right center. So definitely a ball into the outfield would probably result in a double there. Nonetheless, Aldrich makes the play. Got a runner on first for Konzak.
Konzak's 0 for 1 with the walk today.
Blooper down the first baseline will go foul. 0-1 for Konzak.
At a University of Toledo, so has played on Bob Wren Stadium's field before.
It's probably really nice for these MAC players to be able to come back to a field, especially one of the nicer parks, and be able to actually play on these fields. Some of these guys, not a ton of playing time this year, so.
Of course, but they certainly will get a lot more as they get older and get some more time in the system. And that's why these guys play these summer collegiate leagues, is it's a great opportunity to be able to work on certain aspects, work on certain skills, and get reps when you didn't get as many reps. Or if you got reps on a smaller level of baseball, on the community college level, it can give you a shot to be able to prove to some of the bigger schools, Division I programs, Division II programs, that you're a great player.
Drop third strike, gets behind Friesen, so he'll throw that one down, but the runner does advance to second base. And that's a fair point, Sedric, and something we saw yesterday on the bus. Sebastian Silva, the catcher, talking to Coach Lanning, saying, hey, I'd like to get some more reps DHing. I need to work on my hitting. So Coach Lanning giving him the opportunity to DH yesterday, and that's really what summer ball is all about, being able to recognize what skills need to get better, and then obviously being able to get out there and work on those skills in a live game situation.
Of course. And it's great that Coach allows players to be able to try out different positions or just really focus on what they want to focus on. We see players like Trey Rucker, who came in as an outfielder, and we get to see him in all these different infield positions. We've seen him at second base, third base, and shortstop just this week. So it's exciting to be able to see different players excel at places where maybe they're not used to playing.
Pitches just inside. Be ball number one.
Yep.
One out here in the top of the fifth. Hamilton Joes lead the Southern Ohio Copperheads 2-1.
Bennett Clement is 1 for 2 on the day and hit a single in the first and struck out in the third to get to that 1 for 1. And he's up with his third at bat.
The 1-0 to Clement is in there for a strike, and Williams goes down, favoring that left thigh. Athletic trainer will come out and talk to him. We will take a short break here and bring it back when things are under control. You're listening to Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. back here at Bob Wren Stadium. It appears that Cody Williams is okay. Must have been like a Charlie horse or a cramp or something like that. He threw a warm-up pitch, and athletic trainer gave him the thumbs up. So bit of a scare there, but nonetheless, we're back. The 1-1 pitch is a shot out to Carson Shepard at short. Makes a diving grab for it. Not able to make the play at first base, so one runner in, could be an infield single.
Yeah, it's a little celebration there from Bennett Clement as he even called safe himself while crossing first base, so he felt really confident about that hit. And he should be, as he's batting .320 on the year, and his average is just going to go up, and he's driven in 4 RBIs for the Hamilton Joes, so he's been one of the better players on the team, and he'll definitely be a thorn in the side of the Copperheads in their future matchups.
Riley Hawthorne steps in now. Takes the first pitch for a ball.
Riley Hawthorne hit into a fielder's choice in the first and then walked in the fourth, and he eventually got all the way around the bases to get a run. He was the first run of the day for the Hamilton Joes.
Second pitch is also in there for a ball. Quickly 2-0 for Riley Hawthorne. Runners on first and third here in the top of the fifth. Hamilton Joes lead 2-1 after a 2-run fourth inning. Runner goes. Chopped foul. Likely would have saw Friesen hold on to that one as the runner on third was getting a fairly sizable lead as well.
Yeah, it'd be smart. It's great not to get caught up in the muck here and really focus on the runner that is in scoring position right now. If you can be able to pick off that runner and keep him at third, it's more important than trying to get the pick off and giving up the run.
We saw the Copperheads get a runner trying to get a runner trying to come home yesterday on a double steal attempt, and Copperheads were able to get the runner at home to limit what damage unfortunately was already done in that game. Big swing and a miss there from Hawthorne to load the count at 3-2. Payoff pitch is on its way from Williams. Runner goes. There's a shot out to right field, drifting back all the way, and that's a 3-run home run for Riley Hawthorne. Joes add to their lead here in the top of the fifth inning. Will be 5-1 now.
Yeah, that was an absolute bomb going over right field, and tough situation to have happen, especially with a couple of runners on. That's one of the last things you could want. And Coppers, they've done a good job of not giving up a lot of home runs. That's only their third given up on the year. And very tough break there for the Copperheads, as now they're down by 4. And they really got to keep this lead only 4 for the Joes, because if it can get any more than this is where the game starts to get out of hand again. And for the Copperheads, they've been doing a great job of coming back when the score is only 3 or 4. But when the deficit gets to above 5 or 6, Tim, that's when it's almost all she wrote.
And that's tough for really any team to be able to come back. But just the grittiness of this team has really allowed them to stay in these games. As there's a little bit of activity down there in the Copperheads bullpen. Likely be Cody Williams' last inning of work. 5 earned runs through 4 1/3 for Cody Williams. The pitch is low and will kind of bounce over everybody's head back into the net. 1-2 for Andrew Patrick, who comes up to the plate now with the bases empty. 1 out after the 3-run homer by Riley Hawthorne. The 1-2, just on the outside part of the plate. Get 2-2.
Andrew Patrick, the last couple of times he was up in the first and he fouled out. And then in the fourth inning, he was hit by pitch and scored the second run of the day for the Joes.
The 2-2 is also low, so it will be a full count now for Patrick. Cody Williams trying to get a couple guys out here to end this fifth inning.
Patrick trying to exercise some demons against the Copperheads. He went 0 for 4 and had 4 strikeouts in that game. And Copperheads had his number, but this time he's doing a better job of getting on base, even if he isn't getting those hits.
Coach Lanning will head out to the mound. Will likely be the end of Cody Williams' day. So he gets a nice applause from the crowd here at Bob Wren Stadium. So it'll be 4 1/3 from Cody Williams, 5 earned. And coming into the game now will be, can't quite see it, number 19, and Adam Beery, the Ohio University product, Rootstown High School. So we will take a quick break here in the top of the fifth. Runner on first. Hamilton Joes lead 5-1, courtesy of the Riley Hawthorne 3-run home run. You're listening to Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. Back here in the top of the fifth inning, Adam Beery in the game for the Copperheads, set to go to work against Evan Ulrich. Runner on first, 1 out as the runner goes. The throw down, tag not in time. So it'll be a stolen base for Andrew Patrick. The pitch is in there for a strike though, so it'll be 0-1 to Evan Ulrich. Runner is in scoring position now. Joes have gotten 3 runs in this inning, courtesy of a Riley Hawthorne 3-run home run. Did he swing?
Looked like he did.
Looks like he did. 0-2 now. As Beery, the Ohio University product, looks on, very familiar with this field. The 0-2 pitch. Chopper to Trey Rucker, who gets that one at first. Throw over to Class is in time. The runner will stay at first base. 2 outs for the Copperheads now, here in the top of the fifth.
Yep, 82 miles per hour was that pitch there from Beery. So he's got a little bit of a cannon there, showing off the speed a little bit.
Now in is the sophomore center fielder, Grant Miller, hitting 250 on the year. Beery looks on. And will step off the mound.
Grant Miller, another one of those players in the MAC that getting a chance to be able to play on Bob Wren, and will get to do so later in his career.
Pitches outside for ball number 1. 1-0 for Miller.
Seeing Beery break out the little bit of a breaking ball there. We'll see if he dials up that pitch a little bit at this at-bat.
The 1-0. Inside. It'll be 2-0 now for Miller. pitch is low again. 3-0 now for Grant Miller. Hitting 250 on the year, 3 RBIs. Joe's in control in this one, 5-1 with a runner on second base. As that pitch is outside, and Miller will be walked.
Grant Miller has had a great day so far. He's 1 for 2, and now has a walk added to that total, as a couple of runners have got on in this inning for the Copperheads, and especially giving up the home run made it real difficult. And the Copperheads just have to stop the bleeding. They've given up 3 runs already. They need to keep it at 3.
Beery delivers. There's a shot out to right field. Be a routine fly ball for Clayton Hodges. So that's 3 outs for the Hamilton Joes, but not before they do some damage here. Riley Hawthorne, 3-run home run, and the Hamilton Joes have a comfortable lead in this one, 5-1. You're listening to Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. Back here in the bottom of the 5th inning, the Copperheads have some work to do in this one, trailing 5-1. Trey Rucker will come up to bat. And then we will see the top of the order. Trey Rucker, interesting little tidbit, only has 1 strikeout on the year, so likely see some form of contact from him. So take that one for a strike.
Yep, well, on the day he did pick up another one, so that was his 2nd of the season in the 3rd inning. He also had a single, one of 2 guys to get a hit on the day for the Copperheads. He started the game off with a single, and then there was a single by Clayton Hodges. But other than that, the Copperheads have been shooting blanks, and it's been very cold as of lately, as we've seen hot streaks from the bats in certain games, including the Jazz game and the Xenia Scouts game. But now we're kind of seeing the other end of the spectrum here, where things have just been rough over these last 12 innings of play for the Copperheads.
Only 6 hits in those 12 innings. The 1-1. Did he go? First base umpire says he did, so it'll be 1-2 now for Trey Rucker. Copperheads need to get something going here, as there's a shot out to shallow left field. That ball will drop. Rucker gets on. And the Copperheads got it going a little bit here now. We'll see if they can make something out of it.
Yeah, that was really important just for the team to be able to get something going here. And all it takes is one guy to really bring the juice, and then everybody else really feeds off of that and can really help get this ball rolling faster and faster. And for the Copperheads, they need to get something going in this inning. You don't want the Joes to continue to have a lead and continue to just build on it. So if the Copperheads can do anything just to get 1 run, get 2 runs, just get something so that you can make this game a little bit closer now before it can get out of hand.
The throwback to first, not in time. Carson Shepard takes ball number 1. And Sedric, it makes it a whole lot easier to come back in those later innings if it's only 1 run, only 2 runs. But 4 is a lot to ask from an offense in just 1 or 2 innings. So
exactly.
Start to chip away at that run total now. And then by the time it does come back down to crunch time, Copperheads will be able to try to get it done.
Yeah, Southern Ohio has had the clutch gene this year. We especially saw it against the Xenia Scouts, where they were tied 5-5 and ended up coming out on top.
Shepard will take strike one. 2-1 for him now. No outs. Runner on first. Trailing by 4 here in the bottom of the 5th. First home game in a couple days for the Copperheads, who have been on a bit of a road trip. Throw back over to Rucker. Not in time.
Ooh, that was close. I think they almost got him.
I tend to agree, Sedric. Rucker, another one of those guys, just a nightmare for pitchers on the base pads. The 2-1 to Shepard is outside. Make it 3-1 now for him. Shepard, as we talked about earlier on the broadcast, pretty high on base percentage this year. Up in the 400s. 476 on the year for him. Second on the team, only behind Mitch Class. As there's a gapper out to center field. Rucker slides into second. So now 2 straight hits for the Copperheads, and Bam Thomas will step in, and we know what he can do with the bat.
Of course, we saw him get a home run against the Richmond Jazz. He said it was like a weight lifted off of his shoulders. But, Tim, I'm just really a big fan of this lineup right here that the Copperheads have, with Trey Rucker, Carson Shepard, really high on base percentage guys batting first and batting second. And then you got some big hitters in Bam Thomas and Kyle Ratliff batting third and fourth. Great situations where they can potentially get big-time home runs. And instead of just solo shots, you can get 3-run homers, 4-run homers, or potentially a couple of RBIs. We'll see what can happen, but I'm really excited seeing this lineup. I feel like this is one that is pretty optimal for the Copperheads.
Bam Thomas will offer a bunt there. Pull it back quickly as first baseman Lester was tracking down. There's a high fly ball to shallow center field. Patrick able to go back and get that. So 1 out here. Runners stay where they are. Kyle Ratliff will now come in, try and drive in at least 1 run for the Copperheads, trailing 5-1 here in the bottom of the 5th. Not over yet, but like we talked about, this is kind of the inning where you need to at least get 1 or 2 on the board to really feel like you're in this game.
Kyle Ratliff, one of the leaders of the team, and when you want to come back in a game, you really got to look through those leaders. And he really values being that person and really enjoys being an example to other guys on his team or even other people in the community, as we have lots of kids that love interacting with the players and being able to be that person. And just from having conversations with Kyle, he's one of the most encouraging guys that I've ever met. He goes out of his way to just give some encouragement to me as a broadcaster as well as to other teammates, and it's great seeing what he's been able to do for the team. And he has a chance here to potentially score some runners.
1-1 for Ratliff. Pitch. Chopped foul. Yeah, after the rough performance yesterday, some of the guys, hung their heads after a really disappointing performance yesterday by the team. Kyle Ratliff was not one of those guys. Got on the bus and tried to keep spirits high on the bus. As we had a few laughs on the way back yesterday before everybody kind of settled in to try and rest up, as there's a fly ball. And Lester will make the play. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. You got 2 runners on. Clayton Hodges looking to make a play.
Clayton Hodges has also been pretty good at getting those extra base hits. As I mentioned earlier, he leads the team in triples. He has 2 of them this season, and we've seen him all over the lineup in the outfield. He's playing left field today and has made some plays out there and is looking to make some plays here in the box.
First pitch on the double steal, and Ulrich not able to hold on to it, so the runners do advance on the double steal attempt.
I really like the aggressiveness by the Copperheads, as both Shepard and Rucker are very, very good at running those bases and knowing when's the exact right time to steal a base, and that was an optimal time as the catcher was unable to capture that one cleanly.
Yes, it was. The 1-0 is chopped foul.
Yeah, this is our first time seeing Carson Shepard and Trey Rucker right next to each other in the lineup, and again, it's just making me smile ear to ear to see those two guys who are very proficient at what they do out there on the base pass together.
In there for strike number 2 to Clayton Hodges. Yeah, Trey Rucker, Carson Shepard, a nice combination of high on-base percentage and speed on the base pads. And if the bats are able to stay alive here for the Copperheads, definitely a nice combo for this team to have, especially when they can both get on base and really both kind of get in the pitcher's mind of is he gonna go. 1-2 to Hodges, the wind, the kick, the deal. Just on that inside part of the plate. I think Hodges got lucky with that one, as that barely nicked the outside part of the plate. Nonetheless, we'll do it again here at 2-2. Pitch. Breaking ball that did not break. So full count now for Clayton Hodges as Mitch Class awaits in the on-deck circle. Hamilton Joes lead 5-1 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss for Clayton Hodges. Copperheads not able to capitalize. Will leave 2 on base here in the bottom of the 5th. We've played 5 here at Bob Wren Stadium. Hamilton Joes in control of this one, leading 5-1. You're watching Copperheads baseball on YouTube. Back here in the top of the 6th inning. Top of the 6th inning is presented by OUCU Financial, where you belong. Joe's in control of this one, 5-1 here in the top of the 6th. First pitch from Beery. Low part of the plate. Get ball number 1. Bob Wren Stadium here on what's turned out to be a very beautiful Thursday night. Pitch is in there for a strike. Crowd starting to grow here a little bit, as it's, like we said, cooled down quite substantially. It's Jersey night here at the ballpark. Lots of kids wearing their youth jerseys. We see some Copperheads gear. We see some Ohio University gear. We see some Joe Burrow gear, as that's 2-2 now. So always nice to to see a nice lively crowd here, and we've heard them on a couple of these calls that have gone against the Copperheads. There's a shot out to left field. Routine fly ball for Clayton Hodges. Takes care of that one.
Now batting for the Joes,
Walter Bridges flies out on that one. Nick Wilmers now will.
Actually, it looks like he has a substitute, so there'll be a new batter coming in the place of Wimmers. His day will be done. So it'll be number 7 of the Joes.
Tristan Melvin from Coker College, originally from Cincinnati, Ohio. Chopper to Shepard, fires down the line. Class not able to hold on, and the throw to second as he tries for the extra base, also not in time, so that will likely be an error with 1 out here in the top of the 6th.
Unfortunate mistake there in the fielding as Shepard, he had a really great throw. He threw that with all he had to try to pick off Melvin, but Melvin was able to get there, and his ball went to the left of Class, and he took advantage getting the second.
It's a tough throw coming across your body on that inside part, or that outside part of the infield away from first base. So not able to make a clean throw there. It'll be 1 on, 1 out.
Yep, Tristan Melvin, who came in actually as a pinch hitter, going in for the DH.
Back to the top of the lineup now, Caden Konzak. Working against Adam Beery. Beery's pitch is in there for a strike. 1-1, 1 out, 1 runner on. Joes lead by 4 here in the top of the 6th inning. The ball is flown out over towards the Copperheads bullpen. Be 1-2 now.
Caden Konzak on the day. He is 0 for 2 with a walk.
Beery will look on. And deliver the 1-2 as looks like the runner goes. Beery kind of paused for a second, throw to Shepard. Looks like he got him. Did not. That was a really close play there. And throw maybe just a touch too high for Shepard, who tried to make the play there, but
hey, showed a bit of the
calls him
vertical.
safe.
Yeah, Shepard, he got a little bit of a great jump there as he's much shorter than Beery, and he got up there.
The 1-2 from Beery. Chopper over to Aldrich, who tosses it to Class. The runner will advance, but that's 2 outs for the Hamilton Joes now.
Yeah, and before this inning, we saw a happy birthday song given to Gunnar Aldridge, and we were suggested here in the broadcast to be able to give a song and sing our own rendition of Happy Birthday. We're not going to make your guys' ears bleed with that, but yeah, once again, Gunnar Aldridge celebrating his birthday. Always great seeing guys who got the summer birthdays and get to play a game of baseball. I mean, what's more beautiful than that for a birthday present?
Bennett Clement steps in. Beery delivers. 76 miles an hour on that strike. Again, thank you to David Hodges, father of Clayton, for the radar gun to let us borrow this season to up the entertainment value just a little bit, as there's another strike in there. Beery looking to close this out without giving up a run. The 0-2. High. In there for ball number 1. Copperheads still haven't been able to find it offensively today. Only 4 hits on the day compared to the 7 of the Joes. The 1-2. Outside. Makes it 2-2.
Bennett Clement has been one of the more dangerous hitters today. for the Hamilton Joes. He's 2 for 3, 2 singles, and a strikeout.
The 2-2. Just nicked foul on the 72-mile-an-hour pitch from Beery.
A little bit of off-speed action, it looks like.
So we'll do it again here at 2-2, facing against Bennett Clement. A runner on third, 2 outs. Joe's lead 5-1. The 2-2. Chopper to Shepard, fielded cleanly. The throw to Class. In time, no, he calls him safe. So the Joes get another run, and Bennett Clement able to get safe there.
Seems like a lot of the calls just have not been going the Copperheads' way today, and Bennett Clement, it seems like his tendency whenever he gets over first base, he calls himself safe, and I always wonder if that influences the umpire. I want to see a play where he calls himself safe and the umpire's like, out. But this wasn't the time.
Riley Hawthorne, the one to do the damage in the previous inning. Throw over to first base, not in time.
Yep, as you heard from Tim, Hawthorne having himself a day as he is 1 for 1. Has a fielder's choice and a walk to go alongside his home run.
First pitch to Hawthorne. And the throw from Friesen is off the mark. Not going to be in time.
You can hear Vice President Annie Valent still cheering loud for the Copperheads. Got a quite distinctive voice so we can hear her. She's always a really encouraging presence for us and our staff, so we always love being able to hear her out there in the crowd.
The 1-0 to Hawthorne. Check foul on the pitch. Make it 2-0. Umpire will head out to the mound. Give Beery another ball as Friesen kind of shakes that one off.
When we think about this in the big frame of reference here, this is also a revenge spot for the Hamilton Joes. The Copperheads went onto their turf and stole a game from them, and they were undefeated. They were feeling themselves, and the Copperheads did pull off that win, and I'm sure that did not escape the minds of the Joes going into this game on the road. They've come in with a chip on their shoulder.
Chopper down the first baseline. Foul ball. Class not able to make a play on that one, so the Copperheads catch a break. 1-1 is the count.
And you can feel guys like Bennett Clement really setting the tone here for his team, for the Hamilton Joes. They just seem like they have a very big sense of confidence as he's calling himself safe, making it to the first base. And again, they have a very loose dugout. That's what we learned from Coach Thaman the last time we talked to him. So that still seems to be the tendency for him.
Beery will step off the mound, readjust. Appears now count is 1-2 according to the scoreboard here. Just outside the plate, little off-speed pitch. So 2-2 for Riley Hawthorne. Joes get one in this inning. 2 in the fifth, or 3 in the fifth, and 2 in the fourth. That is the Shepard not able to make the play on that one as another runner will come across on the RBI single from Riley Hawthorne, who now has 4 RBIs on the day. Having a really impressive day for him.
Yeah, he's just been carving up the Copperheads as he seemed to have all the pitchers' numbers, and I feel like things are starting to fall apart here for the Copperheads, and being down 7-1, this is a tough lead, and they're just going to have to figure out a way, get out of this inning, and hopefully the offense and the bats come alive. Still plenty of time to work with.
Copperheads need to kind of figure it out offensively, just kind of get back in the swing of things. Haven't had the offensive day they might have liked, so see if they can get that done. But they got to get out of this inning first. First pitch is outside to Andrew Patrick, sophomore outfielder from Columbus. Wright State Raider.
Andrew Patrick, he is 0 for 1 with a walk and a hit by pitch, and also put up a run in that 4th inning and was the 2nd run of the day for his squad. A Joe's team that is looking anything but average.
Freezing out there to talk to his pitcher. Calm the nerves a little bit as he looks on the 1-0. Fouled back on the 81-mile-an-hour fastball. Looks like the athletic trainer pointing off into the distance. Probably some lightning, which is highly unfortunate here in the top of the 6th. So we will take a short break as we await the decision here. You are listening to Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. Back here inside the broadcast booth, Tim, Hanna, Sedric, Granger on a bit of a lightning delay right now. Play will resume around 9:30 p.m. pending any more inclement weather.
Well, there was just another lightning strike, so that's another 30 minutes.
We will wait for the updates from Trevor Stevens. So continue to monitor this situation here. Unfortunate the Copperheads weren't able to get the full game in. Now the second game in a row that has been stopped due to weather. Sedric, not quite the game Copperheads were looking for having back here at home in front of this home crowd today so far.
Yeah, it's been really frustrating. It's been kind of similar to the game we saw yesterday where they started off kind of hot, where in the first and second innings they got a little bit of something going, and you feel like they were able to kind of build off of that, and maybe as the game goes on, you start off with 1 or 2 hits an inning, and then you're getting guys starting to score, and it would just be a great thing, especially here in front of the home crowd. They looked well rested. The defense looked a lot sharper, and it looked like it had the trajectory of being a game that would be pretty great for the Copperheads, but it's really turned into a nightmare as of lately as the Joes have been getting it going. And in this revenge sort of spot, the Copperheads have not fared too well against teams that they have beaten already on the year, and it really showcases how tough the GLSCL is. And having the 2 games in a row where you have 2 teams that have probably circled this Copperheads game ever since losing to them, especially given that the Copperheads dished out the first loss to the Mariners and dished out the first loss of the season for the Joes, they're going to want to go and kind of get revenge there and be able to get back at the Copperheads for doing that, especially on in the Joes case on their home field at in Hamilton. So the Copperheads, this is a tough out here, and if this game gets called, this will be tough. That'll be a loss. They'll fall to 4-4, and the Joes will be 4-4, and they'll be tied up together. And we can only hope for the Xenia Scouts to pull off the upset over the Mariners, and then Copperheads can control their own destiny over the Settlers tomorrow, which should be an interesting matchup as the Settlers, they come in with 3 straight losses. So they're getting a team that's really slumping. So we'll see if the Copperheads can maybe bounce back against the Settlers. But this game is not over yet. Hopefully, we got our fingers crossed.
9:30 restart the time. We just heard it again from Trevor outside our window. So here in about 15 minutes, we'll get the game restarted again. Joes went scoreless through the first 3, and then got 2 in that 4th, 3 in the 3rd, and now 2 so far here in the 6th inning. We'll take another short break, and when we return, hopefully, game will be resumed. Thanks for staying with us here. You're watching Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. Well, Copperheads fans, the wait is over. We are back here in the top of the 6th after taking a quick break. It'll be a new pitcher for the Copperheads. Number 20, Matthew Nolan from Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario, Olivet Nazarene University. Has made an appearance this year for the Copperheads. Came in against the Cincinnati Steam, pitched 1 1/3 in that game. There's a shot to down the first baseline. Will go foul. 1-2 here for Andrew Patrick, who's arguably got one of the longest at-bats of the year now, Sedric.
I mean, you can't argue with that. I'd consider it quite shocking how long that was. Is about a 30-minute delay or so, and he still gets to finish up his at-bat. Now dealing with the 1-2.
Ball is high from Nolan, 2-2. My partner, Cedric Granger, the king of puns. So I hope all the folks at home are enjoying that.
Zach, you better pay attention. They'll be coming at you lightning quick.
2-2 from Nolan. Inside part of the plate, make it 3-2. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th after about a half-hour break due to inclement weather that did not come our way. Copperheads trail 7-1. Here were 2 outs. Ball is fouled back as the runner took off for second base. And we'll do it again here full.
There have been 2 runners that have scored in this inning. It's been Tristan Melvin, who scored in this inning, as well as Bennett Clement, who scored off of an RBI single from Riley Hawthorne, who is on first base currently.
Appreciate all the folks sticking around with us here on the broadcast. Tim Hanna alongside Cedric Granger. Really glad we were hopefully able to finish this game now after the delay on Monday. Runner goes. Chopper to short. The throw over to first. Got him on the out. So the Copperheads take care of business here in the 6th inning after giving up 2 runs prior to the lightning break. When we return, it'll be the Copperheads' chance to get a couple back here now. You're listening to Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. Back here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The bottom of the 6th inning is presented to you by Eclipse Company Store. Mason Adolny getting his first swings at it today as he comes in for Mitch Class. Fouls one off there to start the at-bat. New pitcher for the Hamilton Joes, Zach Breeden, comes in. Nadolny takes that one outside, 1-1.
Nadolny batting 400 this year, quite an impressive total. Has 1 RBI.
He takes it for strike number 2. So 1-2 to Nadolny. Big swing and a miss there to strike out. So Nadolny goes down on strikes. Coming in now, Ian Crump. Trying to get things going for the Copperheads here in the bottom of the 6th. Down 6 runs.
Ian Crump 0 for 0 on the day with 2 walks.
See if Crump able to get on base here as he fouls that one out. Down the right side part of the ballpark. 0-1 for him.
Great to see some fans filing back in, despite the weather delay.
The 0-1. On the outside part of the plate. A little bit high. Copperheads trying to get some offense back here in this game. Haven't scored a run since that second inning. Only 4 hits on the afternoon so far, and not really the kind of bounce back performance offensively they were looking for.
Nope, and sometimes you just have series where things are just bad and you're going to get some really tough pitchers in this league, and maybe the first time around against these opponents, these pitchers are a little bit rusty. They're still trying to shake off the rust. Now you're getting these guys who have settled in, have had a lot of reps, have had a lot of practice and a lot of in-game opportunities, and that could create more difficult situations here for the batters, and the Copperheads will have to make adjustments.
2-2 pitch to Crump is outside. So that will load the count here for Ian Crump. Already 2 walks today for him. Payoff. Fouled straight back here behind Bob Brown Stadium.
Sometimes with the foul balls, you get situations where they could potentially go into the Hockin River, depending on how hard it is fouled backwards.
Have to be a pretty hard hit ball. As a couple 100 yards from the river on the other side of the street. South Schaefer Street separating us from the river. The payoff pitch. Rung him up for strike 3. Crump goes down on strikes. That's back-to-back strikeouts for Zach Breeden.
Really great start to the day for Breeden here as his fresh arm. I guess everybody's a little bit more fresh after the nice 30-minute break there, but he's looking really solid here as a relief pitcher here for the Hamilton Joes.
Friesen steps up to the plate now.
On the day, Friesen has a strikeout in the 2nd inning and then was out on a fielder's choice in the 4th inning.
There's a shot out to shallow center field. Looks like it will drop. So Friesen aboard here in the bottom of the 6th. Copperheads trying to get things going offensively. It's about the first spark we've seen in a while.
Yes, it is. And Matt Friesen, he's done a great job these last couple of games. He's been one of the best batters over this tough stretch here for the Copperheads. He's really starting to get a hang of things here in game number 9.
Gunnar Aldridge steps up to the plate now and takes strike 1. If there was a time for Gunnar Aldridge to kind of break out of this slump, I think right now would be the perfect time. Down 6 here. Runner on first as he fouls that one back. 0-2 now for him. Fans slowly starting to trickle back in here. Not as many as we thought, as it is starting to get late here, about 9:39 local time.
Yep, and on a weekday night and with the team down by 6, it created a difficult situation to come back, especially that there could be another threat for maybe another weather delay when you see lightning in the distance.
Hope to see a full house and nice weather here the rest of the weekend. That ball will be a infield single for Gunnar Aldrich. He's aboard now.
There you go. Love to see it. Getting a hit on your birthday.
That ball, nice play there by Walker Bridges as that ball was starting to drift out of bounds. Bridges thought he could make a play on it. Ultimately was not able to. Gunnar Aldridge and Ian Crump aboard now, or rather Matt Friesen aboard. Copperheads have 2 here with 2 outs. Trey Rucker will take ball number 1 high.
Rucker on the day has 2 singles and a strikeout, so 2 for 3, and one of the more proficient hitters.
The 1-0 pitch from Breeden. Big swing and a miss there from Trey Rucker. Rucker, as we talked about earlier on the broadcast, one of the higher on-base percentages on this team. Speedy on the base pads as well. The 1-1 to Rucker. Inside part of the plate. Looked like it might have clipped in, but it did not. Rucker able to get out of the way in time. So it'll be 1-2-1 to Trey Rucker. Chopper up the middle. It'll be a ground out to the second baseman. And the Copperheads go down in this bottom of the 6th. Not able to score any runs. Do leave 2 aboard. When we return here to Copperheads Baseball on YouTube, it will be the top of the 7th. The Hamilton Joes trying to extend their lead here in this game. You're listening to Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. Back here in the top of the 7th inning. Top of the 7th is presented today by Ohio Health. Evan Ulrich, the catcher, trying to get things going here for the the Hamilton Joes in the top of the 7th inning. Had to take a quick lightning break. No inclement weather in the area. It's all towards the north of us, but just as a safety precaution, we did take a half-hour break. There's a shot out to right field. Ian Crump is under it, makes the play, and that is 1 away quickly here in the bottom of the 7th.
Routine fly ball there as Ulrich has had a pretty rough day. 0 for 4, but his team has done very well.
Grant Miller coming in now to work against Nolan. Copperheads trail 7-1 here in the top of the 7th inning. 1 out. No one on for number 1, Grant Miller.
One score we're keeping an eye on is the Grand Lake Mariners and Xenia Scouts. Grand Lake up 7-6 on the top of the 9th. As Xenia's out on to their last chance to be able to try to pull off that upset. If the Mariners were to win and the Copperheads were to lose, the Mariners would take sole possession of 2nd place.
Each game means so much. Playing the same playing the same handful of teams night in and night out means, there's a snag almost made by the shortstop. So that will be a single for Grant Miller. Coming up now to the plate is Parker Lester.
Number 11, Parker Lester.
With 1 on here in the top of the 7th. Yeah, each game really matters when it comes down to the early season part of the standings here. Teams trying to maybe go on the road, steal one, and then obviously defend home field. There's a breaking ball that doesn't quite break for Nolan. Be 1-0.
Yeah, everybody wants to try to defend their home fields, and Copperheads, they've done a good job of it so far this season, but right now with the way things are looking, the Joes are in control and trying to change the Copperheads from being undefeated at home, as you see a swing and miss. But one thing that's also kind of interesting right now, the Richmond Jazz, who are sitting at last place, going against the first place team, Cincinnati Steam. They're up 6-5 in the second leg of the doubleheader. It's top of the 6th, so still lots of time left, and the game is very competitive, but we'll keep an eye on that as the night continues.
Runner goes as there's a pass ball from Nolan. So the runner will advance to second. And that ball never really had a chance to be caught by Friesen. Kind of looks like it slipped out of Nolan's hands. Don't know if it's the humidity in the air or what that might have been. Maybe just didn't have the good grip on it. But nonetheless, that ball kind of sailed over everybody's head.
Yeah, pretty fortunate. Grant Miller ended up sliding into the plate because he could have gotten to third if he would have been looking up and kind of going around the plate with his running. But, of course, when you're trying to steal base, you don't really worry about trying to get to third from that sort of situation. You just go for broke and try to get to that next base.
That pitch from Nolan was high, so it will be 3-1 here for Lester. Looks like that was on the low part of the plate, so Lester will take first base, and in steps in Walker Bridges, trying to drive a couple more runs in here and really put this game out of reach for the Copperheads.
If the Joes get 4 runs in this inning, it could be doom for the Copperheads, as the Copperheads will have another chance to bat. But if they don't do anything, it will
Runner
be
goes
mercy
on the
rule.
double steal. That's a chopper. Aldrich flips it over, and the runner will come home on the steal attempt. So great heads-up base run in there as the runner is safe, and a run will come across here in the top of the 7th. That was really good heads-up base run in there by Grant Miller.
Yeah, he showed some pretty good speed there, getting around the base paths, and he saw that the defense was paying attention to the play at first, and he decided to take advantage of the window.
First pitch just on the outside part of the plate will be 1-0.
Tristan Melvin has only batted once today, and he singled, so 1 for 1.
Melvin awaits the 1-0. Fouled straight back into the net. It will be 1-1 to Tristan Melvin. Nolan trying to get comfortable up there on the mound. Went and kind of shook a couple of them off. Picked up the rosin bag a few times to try and find his level of comfort up here on the mound. That pitch is in there. Chopper over to short, not fielded cleanly, and that'll be an error on the play there. So another run will come across to score. Joes extend their lead to 8 here in the top of the 7th off the error.
And on this season, Tim, whenever the Copperheads have lost, they lose in ugly fashion, and when they win in exciting fashion. And it looks like we're seeing the former right now.
We talked about it a little bit pregame. When it rains, it pours for this team, and unfortunately, one break leads to another, and not really able to take care of business today. I'm sure the lightning delay didn't help the momentum for either team, really, but it was important to come back out after a break like that and set the tone, and unfortunately, that just has not happened yet. 2-1 is the count. 1-1 rather. 1-1 is the count. Pitch on that low part of the plate will be 2-1 now.
Yeah, as it looks like we have a new player and a shortstop. I believe it is number 25, Maverick Stallings, who is a new addition to the Copperheads from St. John's River State College and is a sophomore.
2-0 from Nolan. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. 2-1. For
Tristan Melvin. Actually, this is new. Sorry, Caden Konzak.
2-1. On that low part of the plate, the runner goes, and I don't think Friesen even saw him take off.
Nope, not at all, as these runners are taking advantage, and now there's only one force out.
3-1 to Konzak. Copperheads trying to get out of this inning. Already given up 2 runs. That will be a walk for Caden Konzak. So now the bases are loaded here in the top of the 7th. Bennett Clement steps up to the plate, hitting .320 this year, 4 RBIs.
And added to that total, it has now 5 after he got one in the 6th inning. He has 3 singles on the day, and his trademark has been calling himself safe. As soon as he crosses that single, it almost like he speaks it into existence. And on the day, he's really showcased his ability, and he's been a leader in terms of confidence and setting the tone for his squad. 3 for 4 total on the day. And he's been a tough out here for the Copperheads, so Matthew Nolan will see if he can get him.
Pitch from Nolan in there for a strike. Ahead in this count, 0-1. Clement looks on, takes that one outside. It'll be ball number 1. 1-1 here for Bennett Clement.
Yep, and if you're Nolan, you cannot walk anybody. We're getting dangerously close to the mercy rule territory.
There's a shot out to center field. Ratliff drifting, not able to make the throw. 1 run will come in on the single from Bennett Clement.
That is 4 singles now on the day as Bennett Clement putting together one of the great performances of the year for the Hamilton Joes.
Copperheads dangerously approaching the territory they were in. Found themselves in last night in the run rule territory. We'll hope they can get it going on offense here in the bottom of the 7th, but still need 2 outs here to try and keep this one close, as there's a strike from Nolan in there to Riley Hawthorne. Riley Hawthorne really the one got it going offensively today for the Joes. Had that big 3-run shot in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, Riley.
Shot out to second base. Aldrich not able to make the play. 1 run will come around and score. 2 runs now come in to score on the RBI single from Hawthorne, and Hawthorne running up the RBIs today.
It is. He has 6 on the day, and for lack of a better term, Riley has been a Hawthorne in the side of the Copperheads today, as he has really put together a show He hit into a fielder's choice in the first, was walked in the fourth, and that led to a run. Then hit a 3-run homer in the fifth, had a 1 RBI single in the sixth, and had a 2 RBI single in the seventh. So talk about a resume for the day, putting together lots of work, and that is 12 runs. As the Copperheads, they have given up quite a few runs on the year now. It's starting to stack up. They have a couple of games where they've given up 11, game where they've given up 12 in this one, and then also 15 against the Steam. So it's been a tough go of things here for our Copperheads.
In the league, Copperheads trending towards falling back to 500.
And if you fall back towards 500, there's still plenty of time left, so it's definitely not panic time. But the Mariners, they were victorious today, 7-6. So the Grand Lake Mariners are now 5-3, and all of a sudden they're in second place, and they're one of the only teams that they actually are the only team that's beaten the Cincinnati Steam up to this point, Tim. So that's really interesting as how things can change. The Grand Lake Mariners at one point were 2-3 or 1-3, I believe, and you kind of were thinking they'd probably be a non-factor near the bottom of the conference. But all it takes is one team getting hot, and the Grand Lake Mariners are taking advantage of their home stretch. And Copperheads, they need to take advantage of their home stretch, but losing the first leg, especially what was considered to be the easiest one on paper, it's not a good omen.
Copperheads lead the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League in runs allowed at 56, and that was before this game. So that number will jump up to 68 runs allowed on the year, as opposed to only 41 runs scored. So run differential not great, about 17, and that's unfortunately not the formula for winning baseball.
Not at all. Is that a balk?
I don't think it was a balk. Kind of have a discussion here.
All right, we'll redo it. But, yeah, the Copperheads, they're going to have to at least put up 1 run, at least as it stands right now, or to actually make that 2 runs for it not to be called off here at the 7th inning and be the 3rd mercy rule of the year.
Tough to have a potential for 2 mercy rules in a row, but might be the kind of the reset that this team needs. Try to start to get back on track this season with a home stretch coming up this weekend. Another pitch is high from Nolan, so 3-1 is the count now.
So Copperheads looking to try to avoid the whole order batting up, as the Joes have almost batted around the whole order.
Patrick awaits, and that'll be another walk for Matthew Nolan. Evan Ulrich steps up to the plate now, and the Copperheads have officially, or the Joes have bat around this inning. It appears Coach Lanning will come out to the mound. Not sure if this will be the end of Nolan's afternoon. It appears that it will be, after allowing 5 runs here in the top of the 7th. Never really looked comfortable out there on the mound. Couple errors as well, but something you hate to see from a guy who had a little bit of a rough performance last time around. Now another performance like this, but some guys, it just takes time to get settled in to play in summer ball, and like Coach talked about, some of these guys haven't played in over a month, so hopefully we can kind of see some of these guys settle in a little bit, start to get things rolling.
Yeah, you'd hope. I mean, again, it's always tough being able to see this happen, especially we've gotten to meet this team and gotten to know this team. We know the type of players that they are and the type of grind mentality that they have. So it always sucks, and it's always sad seeing them get beat. But, yeah, tough situation, but there'll be a new pitcher in, and they'll try to end off on a high note.
We will take a short break here while he is getting warmed up. You're listening to Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. back here in the top of the 7th. Evan Ulrich at the plate. New pitcher on the mound for the Copperheads. It will be Andrew Lyon, one of the newer additions to this Copperheads team, making his debut. As there's a fly ball deep in the infield. Trey Rucker calls ball. Gets a hold of that one. So that's a quick out for Andrew Lyon. That's only...
Yep, 2 outs as
Two
Evan
out.
Ulrich, funny enough, has both of the outs of the inning.
The pigskin has been serving the atmosphere.
Call it 3 outs. Looks like there was a little bit of confusion, so
Food and beverage specials that are on certain days throughout the week. You can also check our
Let me look at my count here. I don't see where the 3rd out was from, or are they just going to call it?
Copperheads.
Or is there another lightning delay?
Now we have 2 split the pot tickets here. We have
Because I'm kind of confused. I only have 2 outs according to my count here.
pot tickets. So we'll start with Monday.
appears that the Joes are taking the field now.
Winner from Monday's game.
Coach Lanning giving a little words of encouragement to his team. Try to get these bats going here in the bottom of the 7th. Looks like it will be the last chance for the Copperheads. Not quite sure how that worked out there with the 2 outs, but
Yeah, that was confusing as all get up because I just go down the list, and after Ulrich, all 5 runners straight scored. You had Bennett Clement on 3rd, Riley Hawthorne on 2nd, and Andrew Patrick on 1st. So, I mean, I only counted 2 outs. I don't know where the 3rd out's there. We'll see. Maybe I missed something, but no matter what, we'll see what the Copperheads got, as a lot of people are going to be switched into the game here. It looks like we do see a new hitter. So for Carson Shepard, it will be, we'll see who's warming up down there. Looks like it is Ortiz. Yep, Diego Ortiz be coming in for Shepard, it looks like. Oh. 25 or 6.
Maverick Stallings coming into the game, the newest addition. We were informed he joined the team today, so quickly getting put in the action and maybe be the hero to keep this game alive a little bit for the Copperheads, who are down to their last 3 outs. If they do not score at least 2 runs in this inning, we'll take strike 1.
It's nice to have some more infielders on this lineup.
There is a fly ball out to right field. Konzak able to reel that one in. Quickly one gone here for the Copperheads, as time is starting to run out here in the bottom of the 7th. Bam Thomas stepping up to the plate. Bam Thomas, one of the more explosive bats on this team, as that ball will skip past him and might have hit him, but will not get credit for the hit, or the hit by pitch, rather. There's a shot fouled down the right field line. 1-1 for Bam Thomas.
It's great seeing Coach Lanning try to hype up the team a little bit and just have them a don't give up mentality. You never know what can happen, and we've seen crazier things in the sports world. 12-1 comeback. Why not?
Pitch a little bit towards the outside part of the plate. It'll be 2-2 now for Bam Thomas. There's a chopped foul. So we'll do it again here at 2-2.
Bam Thomas, he is 1 for 3 on the day with a hit by pitch and a single.
Copperheads trailing 12-1. Here's the 2-2. Another foul ball ripped down that left field line. And Copperheads down to just 2 outs left here in the game before the run rule would take effect, and trying to avoid that for the 2nd straight game, as Copperheads starting their home stretch. Big swing and a miss there from Bam Thomas. 2 down now here in the bottom of the 7th. And the last hope for the Copperheads today will be Kyle Ratliff. We'll see if he can start to get things going for an offense that's really just been dull today. Only 6 hits, not really able to string together hits like they have in previous games. As there's a shot all the way out to center field. That ball is carrying. Home run for Kyle Ratliff. That's his 2nd home run on the season. And I think I spoke too soon, Cedric.
Yeah, how about a 2-out rally? And that can at least put the Copperheads in a situation where they just need one more run, and they can keep this game going as Kyle Ratliff hits a home run. That's his 2nd one of the season. He had 10 in his college year, and he absolutely smoked that ball. That ball went over the top of the scoreboard.
Scoreboard out there in left center field. I kind of lost that ball up in the lights up there, and Kyle Ratliff might be the spark this team needed to keep themselves in this game now.
Of course, and after having the game against Xenia where he hit the game-winning home run and we weren't able to get that on video, just the audio, I'm excited now that he finally gets one of his home runs. He got to hear a home run call and get a little bit of a video of that. I'm happy for him for that specific thing.
Have to send him the clip after this game. Kyle Ratliff, the 7th hit of the game, comes as a home run, and Copperheads add 1, try and stay alive in this game. The 2-0 is fouled back.
Copperheads have lost by 10 a couple times this season. With that home run, they could potentially avoid their biggest loss of the year by terms of deficit.
3-1 count. Now is chopped over to third base. The throw in time, and that will unfortunately be the ending to this game. Copperheads fall at home here in just 7 innings by a final score of 12-2. Bit of another lackluster offensive performance from the Copperheads today. It'll be the 2nd straight game they have been run ruled. And we'll take a short break here before we do a little bit of a post-game show. You're listening to Copperheads Baseball on YouTube.
It was a tough out for the Copperheads as they fell today 2-12 to the Hamilton Joes. And I'm here with Coach TJ Lanning. And Coach, just what was one of the things that really disappointed you about this game?
The defense and the pitching, and that's what usually wins ball games is defense and pitching. We haven't had it the past 2 nights, and it's definitely showing. We've gotten 10-run rule twice in a row just because of defense and pitching. We come away with 7 hits. That should usually typically win you a ball game, but not tonight and not last night, but just the defense and the pitching.
Course, and it feels like things have kind of like flip-flopped. At the beginning of the season, you guys were having slow starts and then having like super hot finishes. Now it's where you guys are having like hot starts and slow finishes. How are you going to try to find that middle ground?
We just keep coming out, keep getting better each and every day, and keep having fun. Like I said, I think it's going to click here towards the middle and end of the season. We're definitely going to be a team that's going to finish strong, no doubt. We're still trying to get to know each other and whatnot. Like I said, it's still the first 11 games. I'm going to keep saying that first 11 games, then we're going to start putting people into good situations and going to win some ball games after that. But most importantly, we're going to keep having fun as a team. All right,
of course.
We have a strong bond, that's for sure. It's going to keep staying around.
Yep, and from us being on the bus, we were able to see a lot of that strong bond on display, and we love being able to be a part of those bus rides. And then on a more positive note, how did it feel being back at home for the team?
Oh, it felt amazing. The guys got to sleep in a little bit. I guess they slept in a little too much and came out flat. The first 2 innings we came out, we were hot, and then after that we got a little too comfortable and tried to start swinging for the fences, and it didn't work. We had an approach to stay up the middle, backside, and it worked, and then they went away from it. So we can't do that. We got to stay with approach all 9 innings.
Of course. Coach Lanning, thank you for coming up to talk to us.
Yes,
I appreciate
sir.
it. Good luck tomorrow against the Settlers.
Thank you so much.